So, how about we do a throwback Thursday on the way home from work? This week's story is going to be the CCW biker arrested on his way to commit a 187, which is murder. Or homicide, whichever you want to call it. Yeah, same difference. 187 is the penal code section in California for homicide. Anyways, let's get to the story. Okay, I was working out of Eastern Division, and it was second watch, which is early afternoons and evening hours, but it was still daylight. Sun hadn't quite set yet. And I'm working around El Cajon Boulevard area. I don't know if I already said that or not. Anyways, I get the radio call comes out on the beat south of me to that officer and any officer who can cover, which was going to be me, because I was going to jump the call. So, locate and arrest a biker on Harley. There was CCW that was on his way to kill his girlfriend's ex-husband. So, the two primary officers, which is a FTO, field training officer, and his rookie, it was their beat. So they go out looking for the white male, long hair, I forget, I think it was a plaid coat on a Harley Davidson chopper, armed with a 6-inch chrome 357 and a shoulder holster, on his way south to his girlfriend's ex-husband's house to kill the ex-husband for some reason. Now, how did we have all this information? Because the girlfriend called in dispatch and was feeding us this information because she wanted us to catch her boyfriend and stop him before he got there and killed her ex-husband. Because I guess she didn't want her ex-husband murdered and she didn't want her new boyfriend arrested for murder. So it was actually very smart that she called and got arrested for CCW instead. So anyways, here we go, back to the story. Those guys, the primary unit, they're patrolling around looking for the guy. I'm heading south from my beat down to their beat to back up the call. And then my route, en route there, the guys put out on the radio that they've spotted the biker, and they get behind him, and they're on a one-way street southbound in heavy afternoon traffic. They want to know where their backup's at. Well, I'm still miles away and quite a few minutes away in heavy traffic trying to get to them, coming from my end of the beat. So I tell them I'm going to get there as soon as I can, but I'm probably 5 minutes out. Well, they go ahead and decide to make a hot stop on the guy before he gets out of the heavy traffic and gets to the freeway and escapes. So they go ahead and do the hot stop on him. And I'm, listening on the radio that they made the stop. They're about halfway down the block, in the middle of the block, on the southbound one-way street. And I'm north of there, still coming. Well, I get to the intersection 1 block north of them, And I slowed down and looked, and I was going to shoot southbound down the street to get to him, but I couldn't. The whole street was blocked off with cars that had all stopped behind them when they did the hot stop. So traffic was backed up and there was no way to get through with my patrol car. So I went ahead and went on through the intersection, westbound, went to the next block over, turned left, and then went southbound, running parallel to them. Went down to the next major intersection, made another left-hand turn, came back eastbound. And I figured, okay, I'll go back up northbound up the southbound lanes on the one-way direction and get to them that way. Well, I get to the intersection and I was going to, run backwards up the traffic lane. Well, the traffic lanes were all blocked with cars too, because some people had gone past the hot stop and were blocking all the 3 lanes. So I couldn't get through to get up to them that way. But, they're sitting there yelling on the radio and wanting to know where his backup is. And I'm sitting there telling them, well, I'm trying to get through traffic to get to you, just hang on. And the whole time this is going on, they got the biker sitting there on the bike with his hands on his head, the bike is shut off and on the kickstand, and they're drawing down on him, and they're parked behind him. So, the only thing I could do was to go down, I don't know, maybe about 50 feet or so to the driveway to the shopping center that was on the corner there. And I pull in the driveway of the shopping center, I think, and I shoot through the parking lot, throw on my lights, I drive across the sidewalk, off the curb, cut across diagonally across the oncoming traffic, the southbound lanes, heading kind of northbound, weave my way in between the cars and pull right up in front of the biker and his bike, and I'm sitting there at about a 15-degree angle to his bike, front wheel, and I'm probably maybe 15-20 feet back from him, and I'm blocking the lane of traffic. I throw my car in park, hit the parking brake as I'm bailing out of the car, and draw my weapon and take position behind my driver's side door and draw down on the biker. And now the whole thing about this positioning was, it was the only place I could get to, only way I could get to him to back up the call. But it was a very dangerous position that I had put myself in, because I'm right in the line of fire of the other 2 officers, the training officer and the rookie, who are behind the biker, and I'm in front of the biker, and I'm like right in front of the biker, staring him down. Those 2 are behind their car doors in kind of like a V pattern shape for the shooting. So if shit would have went down, I'd have been right in their line of fire in the crossfire. Thankfully that didn't happen. Anyways, I take over the command of the suspect, because I'm looking right at him and he's looking at me and my gun. And he's sitting there on the bike with his hands on his head. And when I could see that the coat is split open, you could see the gun in the shoulder holster on the left side of his body. So I yelled at him not to move, keep his hands on his head, and that I was going to have one of the officers come up and remove the gun from the shoulder holster, and that if he made a movement for the gun, that I was going to shoot him, so he'd better just not move. And he said, "Yes, sir," and he didn't. Well, the training officer was on the driver's side of the car. He comes up beside the biker, reaches around, pulls the gun out of the shoulder holster, and goes walking back to his car and secures the gun. And I tell the biker, I'm still drawing down on him, because I don't know if he has any more guns or not. I'm not going to take that chance. So I tell the biker, okay, what I want you to do is keeping your hands on your head. I want you to step off the bike while you're facing me, which he did. said, now I want you to drop to your knees, which he did. Now I want you to cross your ankles, which he did. And I told him, now I don't want you to move. Keep your hands on your head, don't move. The officer's going to come up from behind you and handcuff you. And when he comes up and puts that first handcuff on you, then he's going to take over and tell you what to do from then on out. Alright? The guy goes, alright. And I'll pick up the rest of the story after, well, I'm not going to get this split here, so I'll finish the story. So, after they're all secured, you know, I put my gun back in the holster and I walk around the door, I walk over and I help lift him up off his knees onto his feet. Man, the training officer take him over to the side of the patrol car on the sidewalk there, and the training officer, of course, tells him you're under arrest for CCW. And first thing the guy wants to know is, well, how in the hell did you know I was carrying a gun? And the training officer goes, well, because your girlfriend called in and told us. Well, he gets all pissy, you know. He goes, well, that effing bitch, you know, how could she do that to me, blah, blah, blah. And I look down and go, hey, look, man, you should be glad she called that we only arrested you for a CCW and that you didn't go down and murder her ex-husband, because then you'd be up for a murder rap. So when this is all said and done and you get back to your girlfriend, you better be thanking her that that's all you're facing is a CCW and not a murder rap. Well, he's not all pissed about it. So then the next thing he wanted to know is, well, would you have really shot me? And I said, well, hell yeah, if you'd have reached for your gun, I would have. So, anyway, he was kind of pissy and, you know, a little upset, and that's kind of understandable, I guess. But you guys all wanted to have a story about my run-ins with bikers that didn't end so happily. Well, that's one that it did end happily because nobody got injured, nobody got shot. Yeah, the biker got arrested for CCW, but that's a heck of a lot better than getting arrested for murder. And I don't know what happened later on with the whole deal. I don't know. For all I know, he could have got bailed out and went home and killed his girlfriend. Who knows? I don't know. Because when the call was over, that was it. I go walking back to my car, jumped in my patrol car, and headed off into the sunset and back to my beat. Anyways, that's my story for this week. Hope y'all liked it. If you did, hit the like button. Make a comment or two and come back and subscribe for some more Throwback Thursdays. Bye-bye.